or got to use the old camera for another day or two. I apologize. We'll be back to the HD video soon. Gonna have to upgrade the computer a little bit to be able to take advantage of the HD files. So Gaden said he'd come by and take care of that for me, install some more RAM or whatever it takes. But until then, we'll have to use the Sony baloney. There's some kitty points for you. So I got to go show a YouTuber motor that I have here. I picked this car up. I've got the paralyzed face today, so I'm not going to be showing myself on camera much. But I felt that coming on the last couple of days. That's why I didn't do anything yesterday. And I just got something swollen up in there, pinched. So more steroids and just relax. It'll be better. But let's head back here through the junkyard and I'll show you what I got. It's just for Captain Howdy Doody. Excuse the mess, guys. I'm working on the inside right now, and then I'll get back on the outside here. But here's the old Bronco. Some of you guys might not have seen this. This is his father-son project gone bad. Bought a bunch of parts for this. I got a hood, 2 new fenders, 2 new doors, new carpet kit, new dash kit, new door panels, all kinds of stuff. For this one, rebuilt 460, rebuilt the tranny. Got a Dana 44 in the front, 9-inch in the rear. Shocks, Skyjacker springs. And he decided he didn't want this or want to work on it, so I'm sort of stuck finishing this up. Terry sent me some shock mounts for it, and I finally got a drive shaft. I just have to get this around where the tools are at and finish that one up. But I'm going to show Captain Howdy Doody this thing. He's looking for a motor for his trike. He wants an automatic. This is a square back. It's a fully automatic deal. You see the mileage on it. Showing 98,000. I believe the motor's probably been freshened once. It runs really well. I fired it up when it first came here. It suffered a front engine collision, so it was a running car. And I did fire it up when it came in. However, this guy, I haven't really been able to sell a lot of parts off this, and he's talking about picking it up and doing something with it. So the opportunity is now if you want it. And you know what I can do is, if you only have a certain amount of money, we can secure the motor for you. And you know, out of a YouTuber courtesy, I can clean the motor up for you. Clean it up, paint all the sheet metal. I'll put it on a pallet for you and ship it. But this thing is a Type 3 and it has the correct case. It's bolted to an automatic. It's got the flex plate on the motor. It's got dual carbs. It's got a header. It's got the fan. Everything is here. It all runs really good. And for what he wants, you really can't beat it for the tranny and the motor. You know, for a good running motor. The case has a stamp on it like it's been replaced with a brand new Volkswagen case. So I did notice that when I fired it up the first time. And it does run really sweet. It's got an 09 in it and the dual carbs. And I think everything else is pretty much factory. You know, generator, everything is there. So if you're interested, let me know. We'll secure it. We don't necessarily have to, you know, ship it out the day you buy it. We can take it out of here, clean it up for you, and make sure everything's really nice on it before we ship it to you. So when you put it in your trike, you'll be ready to go. But I need to know because I got to bolt some tires on this. Like I said, he wants to come pick it up, and the only way we're going to get it is if we buy the car and sell you the motor and tranny. The car has not a lot of value on it because these body parts aren't in demand. So you can buy one of these usually running for $1,500 to $2,000, but they usually don't run very good. This one does run good. It's got the disc brakes on the front, but that's nothing you'd be interested in. You're interested in the motor and tranny, so that's what's up with that. But there's my boat. And remember having that out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. But that's what's going on with me today. We're going to not overdo it. Got the swollen titty and the limp arm, so I'm just laying low. Boom, boom. Dropped some stuff off at the machine shop this morning for the 2110 project. I'm gonna try to get some better quality hardware. Chinese stuff that the heads come with. I'm gonna go with some rev valves and some Next Tech Manly valve springs, and try to up the reliability a little bit. Anyway, that's what's going on, and hope you guys are having a great day. I'll upload this so Captain Howdy Doody can see that, and then we're gonna come out here and build this motor, because that'll be nice and relaxing for me to do. Get out of the house, I gotta do a couple dishes, and then I can come out here and do this. But again, I apologize about the video quality. Stick with it next couple days. Then I'll get Gaten over here to upgrade the C drive so we can use the new computer. Real quick, got a couple items here somebody asked me about, and I might as well cover this so I got the camera turned on. I had a tuber send me a personal message and said he was having a fuel pressure issue with his stock Volkswagen, and he wanted to know if he needed to incorporate a regulator. He had saw a video on YouTube where the guy had a fuel pressure issue, and a Volkswagen should operate on 2 pounds of fuel pressure. And the deal is there's 2 different fuel pump rods. We got A and B here, and you can see one of them is probably 150 thousandths, 200 thousandths taller than the other one. There's 2 different types of pumps. One has the lever right here at the bottom, sort of even with the flange. This is an alternator style. This is actually the recessed model. You can see how it's not flush with the flange. The little pendulum that the rod rides on is actually recessed in the pump a little bit. Here's the pump for the short rod. You can see how the lever extends out of the bottom of the pump. This one takes the short rod, this one takes the long rod. However, recently, with the new fuel pumps and the quality of parts that are available to us today, it is necessary to sometimes tailor the fuel pump rod to your fuel pressure needs. You don't need a regulator. You don't need to incorporate all this hardware onto your Volkswagen. All you need is a gauge for your initial pressure. And the more you shorten this rod, the less fuel pressure you'll have. So sometimes what you need to do is just take that over to the belt sander, shorten your rod. Of course, you want to make sure you have the correct rod for the correct pump. Short rod for an alternator pump, long rod for a generator pump. I usually the parts store that I use sells the pump with the rod, so there's no chance of mixing it up. But like I said, I've noticed lately that there's some cars that have too much fuel pressure with the correct rod and pump. And what you end up having to do is actually shorten this rod a little bit. And you know, if you have 6 pounds and you want to go to 2, you just do it a little bit at a time. Don't take like an inch at a time off. Go over to the belt sander, shorten it, reinstall it, recheck your gauge, and you can get your fuel pressure to where you want. The Volkswagen needle and seat will only tolerate about 2 pounds of fuel pressure. I had another question about sand seals and conventional type seal on a Volkswagen. And for some reason, I don't seem to be able to find a sand seal pulley, but I do have a sand seal here. And here's a factory style pulley. This is an empty weighted pulley, and you can see the grooves in the pulley, and what those grooves do, they're a reverse machine there. Oops. And when the oil hits them off the slinger, it's supposed to throw the oil back into the motor when it hits the grooves. And this is a pretty good setup. It works pretty good most of the time. And a lot of times if you're going to run a sand car, they like to tighten the seal up because sand will actually get in between the pulley and get into the front half of the case. So some of the guys on it, probably in California, came up with this thing called the sand seal. And you can see that the sand seal won't fit on this pulley. They make a sand seal pulley and they make a regular pulley. The sand seal pulley would be a smaller diameter here and it would be smooth. There's no lines in it. And instead of relying on these lines to return the oil into the motor, they use a seal to block the oil from getting out of the engine. So this goes into the case. You machine the front of the case. This would get installed into the case like so, and then your pulley would go in there. This is a sand seal. This is a non-sand seal setup. So we covered the fuel pressure, covered the pumps, covered the sand seal. The other thing somebody asked about was a temperature dipstick, and there's a couple different companies that make these now. This is a dipstick. It goes in the stock dipstick location. It's got this little rheostat in it, little heat setup. There's a little spring here. And as this heats up, it goes over and touches the screw and turns the oil light on in the dash when it reaches 220 degrees oil temperature. These do need to be calibrated. A pot of water, a reliable gauge, and you can move the location of the screw. If you loosen that, you can move this collar around and change where it makes contact. You just want to make sure that it's pretty accurate. This is an idiot gauge. This is one step better than not having a gauge. It hooks into the stock oiling system. You still retain your stock oil sending unit. You put a T on that, T to this, and then the other wire goes to the front of the car. And then basically when this grounds at 220, it just turns the light on in the dash and lets you know, hey, I need to slow down. My oil's getting hot. I prefer the gauges. I do try to encourage at least a dipstick. You're gonna invest in a motor, because these aren't cheap. I think you can almost build a small block Chevrolet cheaper than you can build a Volkswagen, believe it or not. But I don't make the prices up, guys. I just put this stuff together. Mark had asked me about a 1776 camera mark, California mark. And I have a 1776 case over here. I don't know what you have in mind. If you want a used motor, a new motor, or whatever, we could work something out with this one. I'd be glad to help you out since you helped the channel out with the camera. I'll give you that case if you want it. And that one's got a 20 cut on it. It's got inserts in it. And I think it's full flowed. It's welded up behind number 3. It's an old super case type deal. I have a crank for this one, I think. I think this was basically going to be a stock 1776. And some guys are like, why would you build a stock 1776? And it's about the displacement. Just more power from a bigger motor and super dependable. We can build it in any floor mat you want. The wilder you make them, the less dependable they are. I've sort of learned recently, if you want all-out power, if you're looking for any kind of power at all, it's better off to buy a crankshaft and build a little bigger motor instead of running a little motor ragged. The little 1600s work really good. They serve their purpose, but if you're going to put big carburetors on it and you want some 14 second, 15 second ET slips, you're going to have to step on the motor department. So this would be a really good stock 1776 low horsepower application, small cam. The heads make the power, so the heads are something that you'd have to pick up, and the cylinders, I don't have a set of cylinders, so we could accumulate some parts. I could make you a list, however you want to do it. I don't know what you're looking for as far as new, used, or what shape you want to go, or what kind of motor you're looking for, what you're wanting to do. This one is full flowed. You can see the plug there, and like I said, it's welded up behind number 3. This would have been the bad setup back in the day. This was a new case they took and they welded up, and it's a 211 case, so it's got the it's a 211 case with no bus provisions. I actually built this motor for a bus customer, and I looked at the number on the side of the case and I didn't look at the front of it, or I just caught this side of it. And there's a boss down here for the mount. There's a boss over here, but it's missing the boss on this side. So I don't know why it carries the 211 part number, but that's what I got there. So, and the number on the top looks like an XO. I don't know if that's a Volkswagen number or not. KO. There you go. Anyway, we'll figure something out. I'll write you a couple different estimates up with a couple different sets of heads. Heads are the really hard thing to get right now. The quality of cylinder heads are just terrible, and it's hard to find a good set of OEM castings. So that's the biggest roadblock for building a motor at the moment. CB Performance probably has the best game going on the cylinder heads, but a set of heads from them are, you know, $600-700. Now, I don't find that unreasonable myself, but some people find it, you know, not a very good idea. But a stock Volkswagen head used to be $200 a pop. That's $400 for just stock Volkswagen castings, and for another couple $100 to get the springs, the stainless steel valves, and the port work, I think that they offer a pretty good value for the buck. But it's all perspective and how you look at things. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, get off the feet, sit down for a minute, upload this. Hope this video helped a couple people. Back to the HD soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And do the right thing.